Richardson posing the right questions. As the flags aren't quite fluttering with quite as much wind. 3 flags up there at the minute. Richardson's in, draws the edge. It doesn't carry through to keeper Dunford, who we've been very impressed by here in the commentary tent.
Yeah, very active keeper. I think he's just taken off his arm as he's rubbing. Bim seems to be rubbing his left arm. Maybe he's come off his arm there, and that would probably explain why the ball's sort of pitched short going en route to the keeper.
That's a good point. Took out the pace of the delivery there. Just been kitted out with a jersey quarter zip. Back of a length. This one's coming closer towards us. Great uppercut. Excellent effort from Charles Bouchard, but he can't quite get it. Skipping along this now slightly skiddy, damp outfield. Great effort from him. But Richardson, he's bowled a couple of quick bouncers, but they've been put away with class by these 2 batters.
Yeah, and a great effort from the skipper there, racing away to the boundary, threw himself down to try and stop that ball. Really unlucky in the process, but a fantastic cricket shot and a T20 shot to explain the skills. But he had the pace and he had the trajectory on there.
So often we see that solid shot from the young Suryavanshi. This one whipping just over mid-wicket, not too far above his head. It's now in hot pursuit as it skips over the boundary rope for 4. And 4 more to Bim Sharkey as he's beginning to really get into this knock. 3 boundaries from that George Richardson over. Not a lot wrong with it, but it's been duly punished. Nepal 142 for 1. And these 2 now really getting into their innings. Kushal on 77. Sharkey moves to 39. He's starting to just pick up his scoring rate. I think we're going to get a change of attire from my co-commentator as well. You're listening to Charlie Harden and Kasim Ali, former Q8 head coach, to provide analysis, and he's made a couple of brilliant calls already. And now we're going to see Greenwood continue. Now, we've been talking about this a little bit recently. With the off-spin from this end, the wind is coming from right to left as the bowler looks down the pitch. And the drift off-spinners get brings the ball in the air towards the left-hand side. And especially on pitches that might not be quite as receptive to spin, that drift can often bring the ball skidding past an outside edge when a batter might be expecting a little bit of turn back in towards the stump. So if Greenwood can get his line right here, we could be seeing a little bit of extra challenge for the batters. Now, Laugh has come in the ring. Deep cover is out. There's also 2 out on the deep square leg boundary, 1 slightly in front of square and 1 backward. Also long on as well, which this punch finds as a plane flies off in the distance from the Jersey airport. Wasn't long ago I was on that one. Greenwood stands at the top of his mark. Into the pitch, and the open face of the bat from Bim stays on 39. At what point do you think Jersey are going to start to get a little bit nervous here? Because yes, Nepal aren't going at a terrific rate. It's that reverse sweep. It's the shoulder of Dunford behind the stumps and is no run.
I think at 2 points here, obviously once they get to 35 overs and they've not taken a wicket, but also from Nepal's point of view, they probably want to see a couple more batters get involved, so that they might look to sort of bump out Kushal and get another person in just to get some time in on the wicket. But it's set up nicely for T20 cricket, isn't it?
Certainly is. That's a good call. Greenwood in. Down the track comes Bim. Completely mistimes it as it's towed back towards the bowler. Greenwood again building up the dots. And we've seen it. Quite an expansive attempt there from Bim. Ball left in the over. Single on the first balls, followed by 4 dot balls. This one's lofted up towards mid-off. Clatters into the eyes of groundsman Birrell. I think I've got to stop calling him groundsman Birrell because he's a very fine cricketer as well. I might call him cricketer Birrell. Anyway, 143 for 110, a good over from Greenwood.
Yeah, impressive over there from Greenwood. He's gone for 16 off his 3. It's been a good start. Bim seems to be the one where I think he's just starting to hold up one end. Maybe needs to start moving on. It's difficult in these conditions as the bowling change once again comes through and Edwards comes back onto bowl here from the right end, in my opinion.
Yeah, he had 1 or 2 overs from this end, which weren't too much worse than the ones he's had from that end, but he was building up some good pressure before the change. Now he's back. Again, with the conventional drift that a leg spinner can get, the wind is helping it. But he's getting some good turn too. Now, I might have mentioned a little bit earlier a couple of pockets of blue sky that weren't actually there. There is now nothing at all. Not even a debate. The cloud remains high. It's slightly dense and grey though. Sweep shot from Bertel. Expertly put away. Running down the slope. There's going to be 4 runs added as he moves into the 80s. 82 now for Kushal. It's been that kind of day for him. I mean, I can't really think of a real chance. Yes, he slashed one to Jonty Jenner, which was incredibly tight. That's when he just moved past 50. There was one at the beginning of the day with Samaroa taking the shoulder of his bat, but other than those 2 moments, he's looked class. Punch with power out towards deep cover. Good stop in the end.